I think that we should all raise our glasses and toast Brother Bill. A man among men who is, still has a full head of hair, still has most of his marbles, and still hits a pretty good golf game, I understand. So here's to Brother Bill. All right, that's the now comes the toasting and the roasting. So, as I entitled this little talk, "Be Prepared." So at various points, it's like in church, there's a responsorial repeat, okay? So when I ask you, Bill, you need to, and then you all say, "Be prepared." So let's just practice. We all need to, Bill? Be prepared. All right, so this is the thing. As we enter, I'm already 60. Bill and I are only a couple of months apart. So, but it's very interesting to know that originally, I only met Bill. I didn't know he was so chubby as a little kid. Actually. I met the thinned out, slimmed out version of him. But we really went to the same grammar school together. We had the same nuns, but I really didn't know him. The very first time I ever met Bill, actually, was when he was about 14 years old. He was in St. Raymond's High School for boys. He came over to my house at a basketball hoop. He came with his friend Michael Decker. Do you remember? Oh, and he was a terror. Does everybody know he was an absolute terror? He never came. He used to cut out of school all the time to go play golf. How did I know? Because they would go down the row and they would call his name, Michael Decker, and then they would get William Lyons. You weren't there because you never heard this, but I did. William Lyons. And then I would usually yell out, "They're on the 14th tee right now." And that's where he usually was. But when he came to my house the very first time, Bill was a pretty good basketball player too. He had a pretty good jump shot. But what they did, they came over to my house and they proceeded to try to destroy. They threw the basketball with all their might and tried to wreck the rim. Do you remember that, Bill? Sorry. All right. I have forgiven you. But now the thing is, although, and so really, the very first time I met him, I thought he was kind of not such a nice guy. I won't use the word, we're mixed company, but what I want to do, Bill, is I want to tell you, while it's true that you had a very good jump shot, you're not the same spry youngster you used to be. So what we want to do is, if he's going to play basketball in the future, we need to be prepared. How are we going to do that? Well, President Obama sent you this expired Ben Gay. But it's not Ben Gay, it's analgesic balm. So before you take those jump shots, I want to give you that. So next time you play basketball. All right, so that was in the teen years. But then what happened is, lo and behold, we wound up. I really knew him just a little bit in high school. He graduated high school. I graduated high school. First time I ever met him was going to college, St. John's University, pharmacy school. We carpooled together. So we're talking, and I noticed right away. I'm like, who is this guy? He's like completely different. And so he told me, I'm like, what happened to you in your life? And he said, well, I got saved. I'm like, you got saved? What is that? Well, we'll tell you about it. We have a group, a youth group, Jim Turilli, and this and that and the other thing. I'm like, I don't really got this. Well, there's only 2 guys there. There's like 6 girls there. I'm like, okay, so there we go. So that's how I got introduced to that. So long story short, I got saved and everything. But so then we started a couple of times to go to Florida. Terry went with us to Florida, right? A number of times. My grandmother had a place down there. So little does everyone know, this is another fact. Did you know that Bill Lyons is fluent in not only English, but also in French? Did you know that? No way. And I'll tell you why. We're at the beach one day. And there's this...
I don't even think I know this story.
Oh, I have a lot of stories you don't know. This is the PG-rated version. So we're at the beach. So we're at the beach one day, and there's these 2 very, very attractive girls, but they were French. I think they were from France. Remember, Bill? You remember this, Bill? He remembers. So what happens is, Bill Lyons, being the debonair man about town that he is, he sauntered over. He had his 6-pack going on then, and the beard the mustache had no gray hair whatsoever. And he walked up to them, and in his best French accent, he said,
Quelle heure est-il?
Which in French means, what time is it? To which one of the girls looked at him, kind of in an offhanded way, and said,
10 after 1.
So, what I thought to myself at that point was, Bill, in the future he may meet someday some beautiful grandmother at the beach, and if he does, he should be prepared. How you do that? With a French-English dictionary. Right, Bill? That's the next gift. But then it wasn't over. No, we love to go, and Bill loves, everybody knows, does Bill like the beach? He loves to sunbathe, right? So we're at the beach down in Florida, and I said, Bill, you're getting kind of red. To which he responded to me, Tom, I never burn. I never burn. So about 8 o'clock that night, he was redder than that shirt. We had, and back in the day, there was nothing you could put on. So we went outside my grandmother's house, and we found an aloe plant. And he started squeezing the aloe plant on his body. Well, I couldn't get an aloe plant, but in the future, Bill, when you take sun, you need to be prepared. So I got you this lovely bottle of aloe. But what's interesting is, not only is it in English, but it also is in French. And it says, lotion pour le corps aloe.
Mercy,
All right.
chop.
All right, so after those days, we didn't only enjoy the summers together, we also got into skiing. Bill, remember that? Many a time. Matter of fact, Bill, people don't know this, when I got married, Bill was my best man. And I gave him as a gift skis, set of skis. So he would go skiing. So many times we used to go up in Vermont or upstate and ski. So I remember this one particular night, we were out, I don't know where we were, out, we got home really late, and the girls weren't too good looking, remember that? So we're up in some place in New York called Selkirk, New York, where, I don't know, everybody that's married, I think they're related to each other. So girls, we found one girl that had teeth. But she only had 2 teeth. She was the pretty girl. I got to dance with her. But we got back to the room, and little did we know, I think we had a meal, and I'll never forget, it's the only time Bill ever actually got mad at me. We got back to the room. You remember this story?
Oh, I remember.
We got back to the room, and we had some problem with flatulence. So,
No. Not we. Thou.
I know, right? And, you know, I was singing the Star Spangled Banner without moving my lips. It was a pretty interesting evening. I thought it was quite humorous. At one point of the conversation, Bill said, if you fart one more time, I'm kicking you out into the street. So, now that he's reaching an older age where, you know, this could be a problem, it's very important that we make sure that Bill is prepared. So I bring you this anti-gas for your future ski trips. All right, now, what also happens is, now Bill's another person, I don't know if it's still that way, but it used to be, Bill was very hyper, and I don't know if he's like that. He could never have coffee after, what time?
I don't know.
7 o'clock.
It used to be 6.
It used to be 6. If he had 1 cup of coffee, he'd be up all night. Now, I think those days are gone, correct? So, Laura, there may be an occasional night where you want him to be up after 7 o'clock, okay? If so, I give you these stay awake tablets so that you can be prepared, all right? There you go, moving right along. Now, when Bill and Laura finally got married, and I think everybody knows, when I first met Laura, I really didn't like it too much for Bill. I thought she was a little rough around the edges. Yeah, a little bit, but come to love her, she's awesome. So when I first went to their little bungalow, when they first got married, the way they saved to move into their mansion in Westchester was they lived behind your mother's house, right? And so when we first walked into the house, I was quite amazed. Because the entire house, it was a cute little house, but everything, and I mean everything, was made of wicker. And I said, and I talked to Bill afterwards, and I'm like, Bill. And we talked to each other, and I said to him, you know, Bill is, I mean, it's really not that comfortable. He goes, Tom, I hate wicker. But I love Laura. Aurora. So he stayed there. Now, when I've been to his mansion in Westchester, I look around from room to room, and I see nowhere to be found. So, what I want Bill to do is be prepared. So here, this lovely canister inside, we have a wicker. This is for your wine, Bill. And I got you a bottle of wine.
I hate wicker.
So we got you that. Now we're getting to this is a little bit more serious note. I hope you all know that Bill and I, we have, actually, it's a terrible condition. We don't like to talk about it too much. For many, many years, we do have this chronic disease. We do. We call it being Met fans. Because Bill and I have been Met fans. Now, Bill and I were actually together for the wonderful day, the Bill Buckner. Remember, Bill? We were in your house in Kingsland Avenue. We actually jumped so high we hit the ceiling. That day, my son tells me often at times, he goes, Dad, am I ever going to see the Mets ever do it again? And Bill, the honesty is I don't really know, but I want you to be prepared. So I have gotten for you a Met hat. But more importantly, now we're talking. Put that on, Bill. What it's important to realize is, by the way things are going, the next time the Mets are going to be in the series, Bill, you're going to need this diaper. I think you should put it on. So that because we really want Bill to be prepared. All right. But honestly, I searched high and low because on a little bit more of a serious note. Have you guys ever heard of Reader's Digest? Okay, so in Reader's Digest, there's usually always, how many people have ever read it? Most of you people remember from years ago? There's always, they're in Pleasantville, so you know where they are. So there's always a part in there that talks about the most inspirational person, the person that's impacted your life more than anyone else. And as I stand here today, in my whole entire life, I have never had a person that's more impacted me more positively than Bill. He led me to the Lord. He introduced me to my wife, and he has been the best friend that I ever could have had. And what I thought, though, was this in particular, there's 50 secrets to a sharper brain. And I think since you're getting older, you should read this particular article, and there's that. And the very last thing I want to say is this. I looked high and low for one card that could sum everything up, because, you know, Bill does not want to really get older. Would you agree? He wants to stay? Okay, so I found this interesting card. I was like to 5 card stores, and there's Bill. He's crawling up to the top of the mountain, and at the top of the mountain, it almost looks like pasture, but it's not. There's this Tibetan monk who spent his whole life in prayer, and Bill, as he gets to the mountain, he says, "Tell me, wise one, what is the secret of a long life?" "That's easy, my brother. Keep breathing as long as possible." So, Bill, please do us all a favor and keep breathing as long as possible. And God bless America. And I'm glad Donald Trump won. That's it. Champagne. Oh, I got it. I can actually see. All right.